On your mobile phone and on all social media platforms. Jambo Radio.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Moments with Sade and Enoch. My name is Enoch and I'm here with my wonderful guest today, Tosin, who has traveled all the way from Glasgow, Edinburgh. It's a mixture of both. He's Mr. I was going to say international, but intercity. He's Mr. Intercity. And today we'll be talking about relationships, long-term relationships. And this is not the, those cute relationships you see on Instagram and TikTok and all those lovely relationships. These are relationships that can carry you through career and carry you through business and basically carry you through life beyond just the romantic relationship. So the theme of our conversation today, myself and Tosin's conversation, is going to be sort of themed around relationships. So follow us on the journey. It should be an interesting conversation, and you can call the studio. It's 0141 530 2787. Can send us a WhatsApp. It's 074 5990 6822. We're on Facebook at Jambo Radio Scotland. We are on Twitter X at Jambo Radio 1. We are on Instagram at jamboradio.scotland, or you can send us an email at info@jamboradio.co.uk. And you can also download the app as well. We are on Android and we are on the Apple Store. Is it Apple Store they call it? What does it? iOS Store. So you can go on any of those apps and look for Jambo Radio and download, and you can listen live or play back previous episodes. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining us today, Tosin. I'm always curious about names, right? And I ask all my guests when they come on the show around what does their name mean, because I'm Nigerian and my name means something. And sometimes I meet people on the street, not on the street, people I meet in my day-to-day life, and they tell me their name, and I'm like, what does that mean? Especially black people, right? Because I used to assume black names have meaning. Yeah. And I'm beginning to find most black names don't have meaning, especially when you leave Nigeria. Like in Nigeria, our names have meaning in most tribes, right? But then when you start going down, especially down south, sort of the Zimbabwe, the Zambia, they say, oh, no, my dad just called me that name. It has no meaning. And then you go, what's of your surname? And they say, I don't know. So it's very interesting. But I know you're Nigerian, so your name is Tosin Oluyemi. Yes. What does that mean? What does Tosin mean? What does Oluyemi mean?
Yeah, I think Tosin is a very popular name among those that were born between in the 1980s and 1990s.
Okay, I was not born then, so I wasn't given that name.
Of course, that's something I've realized, that a lot of parents that had their children within that period, they were all competing with that name.
It's just what do you call them? Tosin. Yeah.
Just see this one, Tosin, and it's a unisex name.
Okay.
And luckily for me, I share the same name with my wife.
No way. So wait, hold on. So in primary school, in your class, how many Tosins were in your class?
Okay, as far as I remember,
were there more than just yourself?
There are about 4 Oluwatosin in my class.
Okay, so how does the teacher then differentiate? There isn't Tosin 1, Tosin 2, Tosin 3, or smart Tosin, silly Tosin, short Tosin, tall Tosin? How does the?
Of course, we have surnames.
Okay.
And then we have our unique.
Yeah.
We have this silent.
There will be Olatosin, Oluwatosin. Yeah. Okay.
Different kind of Tosin. So,
okay. Interesting. So what does it mean? What does Tosin mean?
Yeah, Oluwatosin simply means God is enough for me. God is enough for me to serve.
Okay. Oluwatosin.
Yeah. God is enough for me to serve.
So. I'm contented, right? And your name, your son name, does that have a meaning? And if it does, what does it mean?
Yeah, Oluyemi simply means that I am the leader.
Oluyemi, okay.
Better still, you can say I deserve to lead.
I deserve to lead, okay.
Or I'm deserving of a leader.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. And I guess your journey which you shared with us today actually leans into that around. I deserve to lead. So I guess you're living out the true meaning of your name then. Oluwatosin Oluyemi is would you say that?
I would say that with all intent and purpose.
Fantastic. Okay, we are off on a good start. So Tosin will be sharing with us about how strong relationships can literally fuel sustainable success. The kind of relationships that sharpen your thinking, anchor you when life relocates you across continents, and open doors you didn't even know existed. Our guest has lived and played, in this. Has used that playbook in real time. He moved from Nigeria to Scotland in 2019, landed offers from top firms right in the middle of the post-Brexit talent hunt, and has now ventured into entrepreneurship. And through it all, the common thread has been the power of good people, community support, meaningful relationships, and networks that supported him during that transition. So let's welcome entrepreneur Tosin Oluyemi to today's show. So let's crack on with it then. It's interesting. You've done. I'm gonna be making reference to Big Four, right? And for those that are listening that don't know what that means, so Big Four is the biggest four accounting firms. They're not accounting anymore, really. They're more consultancy.
Yeah, but we call them multidisciplinary
firms. Yeah. But traditionally, they were accounting firms. They were your auditors.
Yes.
So, and the Big Four are PwC,
KPMG, Deloitte, and Pricewaterhouse, and
EY.
And
EY. EY is Ernst & Young. So some of these names, you probably see them on the streets. Some of them are that big. But if you don't see them on the streets, if you work in corporate, you definitely know them because they are likely auditing your business. So it's interesting. I'll tell you this. So when I meet anyone that works or has worked for Big Four, I admire and hate them at the same time, right? Because when I finished university, the goal and dream then was join Big Four, but none of them gave me the opportunity to join them, So I still feel a sense of rejection from the Big Four. So maybe I'm going to take it out on you today over the next 15 minutes while we have our conversation, because you go in, I didn't get a chance to get in.
I will say you don't have to, because I think you are better for it.
I don't know.
I know you don't want to. Don't want to tell you.
You're being kind. So you're being kind to say
you are better for it, because I think what you have not been able to do in a Big Four, if you had been there, you have been able to do it by yourself, or your situation, your journey also have taken you through that process, and that might be the reason why we're having this conversation today.
Okay, let's dig into it then. So you grew up in Nigeria.
Yes.
And what part of Nigeria is it? One of the big cities?
Yeah, I grew up in Ogun State, which is very close to Lagos. So in a city called Ota. So some people do call Ota Lagos anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. It's and I tell people, I'm like, these big cities always end up swallowing smaller towns around them.
Yes.
So if you look at London, for example, the places we call London today, a lot of them are not London. They are actually not part of London. Yeah. But we just loosely call them London now because London has swallowed them. And I think with these big cities as well, once they expand their transportation networks into those smaller towns, they naturally just swallow them. It becomes part of that city.
Exactly.
And I think that's, it's happening with Edinburgh as well. Edinburgh is beginning to swallow smaller towns that are like Dalkeith. People think Dalkeith is Edinburgh. Dalkeith is not Edinburgh. Musselburgh is not Edinburgh, And it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's good for house prices. So let's not forget that. So Ota is essentially being swallowed by Lagos. But where did you start your professional journey? Was it in Ota or?
Okay, it's in Lagos.
Lagos. Okay. So you started that, and then at some points on that journey, I guess you've had how many years work experience at this point? Okay,
I can just take you through the journey.
Quick, okay.
So I started, I schooled in Lagos anyway.
Okay.
So I attended the university. I attended the Lagos State University.
Okay.
And when I finished from that school, I joined a local accounting firm in Ikeja.
Okay.
I spent very few time.
So you studied accounting at university?
I studied accounting, graduated as an accountant, graduated in accounting.
Okay.
And then I joined a local accounting firm.
Okay.
Right there in the city of Lagos in Ikeja.
Okay.
And that was just for about 9 months or so before KPMG came calling.
Oh,
KPMG has this opportunity to come to our university.
Yes.
Invite everybody, every brilliant student in the school to.
And how do they select the brilliant students?
Wow, is usually they just tell you that once you have a 2-1 and above,
right, okay,
you are in
okay.
the 2-1, you have a first class,
Yep.
you just
Come along.
come and write our test.
Okay.
So it is from the aptitude test that you then know who will be the. If you pass the aptitude test, then you have a higher chance of being called for an interview.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they ask all of us to submit our CV and come to write the test, and we all did, and yeah, we passed the test. For those who couldn't pass it, that would be the end of the road.
Okay.
And then they can then find another opportunity. Again, there are so many other opportunities in
Okay.
the banking industry.
Okay.
There are so many other opportunities in manufacturing, in FMCG.
Yeah, like
for
just
them as
settle
well.
for second best.
No,
Like me.
like I was telling you, they are not second best.
We settled for second best. We couldn't get into the big 4. So like you go 5 to 10 or 10, 11 to 100. I'm just joking. Okay, so and you got in
Yeah.
into KPMG.
Yes.
KPMG. Okay, and was that as an auditor?
As an
or
audit. So every graduate trainee
start
as audit
okay,
assistants.
Interesting. Okay.
And then you continue to do the work and rise
Okay.
through the rank.
Okay.
So I did 9 years at KPMG.
Okay.
And
In audit.
In audit.
Okay.
And again, audit also has different group. So
Okay.
I was in
Is
audit.
a different industry?
Yes, the
You mean,
financial
okay.
service industry.
Okay.
And again, that choice came normally by luck, because all they would just do is, after they've done the general interview, you've passed through all the assessments, all they would then do is ask you to choose. You choose more like a ballot,
Okay.
and choose where you want to be. But for me, I've always wanted to be in financial services anyway.
Okay,
And when
okay.
they asked me to pick the ballot, I luckily picked financial services.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Wow. Wow. Impressive. I was chatting to a guy who's gone to study medicine, is in year 1 now, and he said when the system they now have is when you finish studying 5 years, you then go on to train as a junior doctor. So he said in the past you apply, and the best students will get the best place to train as junior doctors, which in a way I think is fair, because if you studied that, then you should. But I said because they're now trying to make it, so in their own view, trying to make it fairer, so they've just opened it up, ballot. Okay. So you could be the best graduating students from University of Edinburgh's medical school and end up in a really not the best medical establishment, essentially, which I don't know. I think there's some injustice in that, but anyway, we're not in the medical profession, so we'll leave that to them. So you audit financial services for 9 years, and what was that like? Did you enjoy that?
Wow, it was very enjoyable.
Okay,
I really enjoyed my time.
you must be the first auditor I've met that said that.
Well, I won't be the first, because there are quite a number of people. So, and when I say enjoyment is relative,
Okay.
to a lot of people. So if I would say enjoyment in terms of the exposure,
Okay.
the kind of learning opportunity, and the opportunity for you to see everything. Like I used to tell everybody, I've seen it all.
Yep.
Because just tell me anything in the financial service world today, I have
I've seen
an
all the
idea of
back
how
end.
it works.
Yeah.
And one of the things we used to pride ourselves, all of us, the alumni of KPMG now, and all of us, wherever we are, all over the world, we used to say that we can do anything. And why? Because the whole process of growing in our career, the whole process of doing all the work that we were assigned to do, give us exposure into virtually everything in the world of finance, both in Nigeria and globally. Back in Nigeria, we went on secondments. We had opportunity for international assignments. We had opportunity to even work with people that came from other countries on international assignment to Nigeria. We went on training to different parts of the world, right from Nigeria, you know. So that exposed us to so many things, so many financial instruments, so many industries within the financial service industry as well, you know. And we have seen transactions. We were part of different deals, different transactions involving auditors to provide assurance, to provide support in terms of the reporting process. We were there when when most of the banks in
crisis.
Nigeria were going to London to raise funds. We're there when the banks were doing consolidation. We were there when the banks and all the financial services were transitioning from the local accounting gap in Nigeria to international financial reporting system standard. And we've been supporting all our clients along the way. We were there also as part of, even for the insurance capital market, we were all there.
Have you ever considered writing a book about this? It seems no jokes, because that could be interesting reading. Yeah, because if you've been on that journey where you've seen it, you've been part of it. Sometimes you've been on the ground while things were happening. Sometimes it's good to journal that for record purposes.
Yeah, I have quite a number of books in the works actually.
Okay.
It's just that I've had so many busy things to focus on, but again, those are things that
it's coming in pipeline. Yes. So we'll probably call you back here 5 years from now and you'll be telling us about your third book.
It won't be up to 5 years.
I
promise you that.
Okay, fantastic. So then 9 years, you then decided. Was that when what drove the decision then to start exploring outside Nigeria? Well, how did that all come to be?
So it was basically recruiters.
Okay.
So you are just doing your thing. Most of us, we have a LinkedIn profile and it's updated, and then you see a message from a recruiter, someone that you don't know, maybe from UK, from Australia, from Canada, talking to you about some very interesting opportunity that exists within their territory, and they just want to have a word with you just to know whether you are a good fit for that role.
Okay.
And one of the things that we always want to do is that we, like I said, we believe that we can do everything.
Yep.
So
it's the right mindset.
And then they will ask us to come and have the conversation. We have the conversation, and when we tell them the kind of activities that we've been involved in, the kind
experiences
of things, experience and everything, they are wild, and they say, "Oh, I need to talk to you. I need to tell my client about this. I need to talk to them because their clients are busy looking for talents."
Yep.
So, and that was what happened at the time. So I got recruited into Deloitte.
Okay, so you got recruited from Nigeria straight into Deloitte UK.
Yes.
So that's interesting, and I think I should be taking you around whenever I go for my speaking engagement. You're a poster boy for the points I make, especially within accounting, because I'm an accountant myself. Yes. I tell people that sometimes when businesses say this thing around international experience, and I'm thinking, no, there's no international experience in accounting. Accounting is accounting. So if you can do IFRS in Ghana, you can do IFRS in Australia. It's the same thing, right? And I think you're testament to that.
And that is very true. An accountant anywhere is an accountant everywhere. Yep. Why? Because we are all members of IFAC.
Yep.
IFAC is International Federation of Accountants.
Yep.
And all the accounting body, most of the accounting body, like 99% of them are members of IFAC.
Oh, there you
go. We adopted, most of them also have adopted the same accounting standards. So
so I mean, recruiters came to you, had the chats, you did the interview, Deloitte said, come over to the UK, but still, you must have had your goals for what you wanted to do career-wise in Nigeria. So did you then just say, sorry, it's not interested, I'm traveling? What drove that decision to take that offer?
I was at the time. At that time, I was already a manager.
Okay.
So I was leading engagements, representing my firm with on different audit assignments across the country, in different sub sector of the financial services in Nigeria. So at the time, and I really enjoyed the job, and then I was already thinking that at some point, I want to set up my own practice, and that was really my goal. Because then my goal was not to become a partner at the Big Four then, but rather to be a partner in my own firm. So, and that was what I was working towards at that time. And when the recruiter came on board and said, "Okay, we have this," we did the interview, everything went so well, and I was like, okay. And again, some other things happened just before then. So I was also married to. I'm married to my wife, who is also an auditor.
Oh, jeez, man. Did you guys meet on the job? Like, what's going on here? You're both so senior, you're both auditors.
Yes. So we were both auditors.
Did she also grow up in Otta?
We became no.
Like it's just
no. So Tosin, we met at KPMG.
Okay.
So she was an IT auditor.
Okay.
So she audits technology.
Yep.
And I'm a financial auditor.
Yep.
So I audit the finance, the numbers, the financial reports. So, and most of the time we became friends actually at KPMG, and then she after some years she left KPMG to join PwC.
Okay.
And our friendship continued from there, and 2015, after about 4 years or 5 years of friendship, we got married 2015.
I don't understand. So you went from friends to married. Is friendship your code word for dating?
No, it's actually friendship. Pure friendship.
So from friendship to marriage.
Yes, pure friendship.
Yeah.
Then after a long, and again, let me just tell you, an audit life is a busy life.
There's no time for
You don't really have time to go out there to see the world.
Yeah. Okay, I get what you mean.
So you are just within the bubbles of all the good people that you are working with. We work,
you do everything together.
We do everything together. So, and that's where the friendship began, where you know virtually how each person live their day, spend their time, right? So, and the friendship became something that we have to do by looking after each other, just to be sure that everybody is feeling well, looking well, and, and that was it. So it didn't really, it didn't take me so long in convincing her to be my wife,
Okay.
Because
look at you, you're a catch, man. Look at you. Cream de la cream.
And she didn't really have to do anything for me to really get to know that.
Yeah, so just a good fit.
She'll be a good fit for me.
Yeah.
So, and that was it.
Such a recruiter speak. Good fit is a good fit. But it's funny we're talking about this, but
so why did I digress?
Yeah.
So when the recruiter,
the decision,
when the recruiter was talking to me, initially I was like, I'm not very much interested because again they were not talking to me in the way they were not offering the kind of role that I think they were not offering a manager role at the time. Because they believe that they have more sophisticated process and the like. So I told them I'm not interested. But I now mentioned that my wife is also an auditor. So in that case, she also mentioned to me that some recruiters were reaching out to her. So she got the offer first.
Okay.
Because again, I wasn't interested in some of the offers they were providing at the time. So she came in, she chose city of Edinburgh simply because we have few of our friends here. We have a sister that lives here before, so
it just makes sense.
That it makes sense for her to come to the city. And later on, the recruiter came back and provided and then gave me an offer that there's an offer for a manager level.
Okay, well done.
Yeah. So, and that was it. So, why did I mention that? Because it's important that even at the negotiation table, you know what you deserve.
Yeah, you know your worth.
Yes.
Yep.
And
you know your worth.
You know that you are coming in into a different environment. You are not accepting that change just to come and settle for something lower than what you really deserve.
So that was just making a nice sideway move.
Yes.
Without dropping grade or sort of career stage. Okay, fantastic. So 2019. Tosin, your wife was already here. Yeah. Then you joined her in 2019.
No, we both came because
you came together.
It's just
a few
months interval.
Okay.
We
came together.
We both came in at the time. So
and then ended up in Edinburgh.
Ended up in Edinburgh. And at the time, because I already had my plan to set up my own accounting, to have my own practice right from there. So I thought it is worth the while to give some time.
Yep.
And explore this new opportunity that we found. And that was what we've been doing the last 5 years.
Fantastic. So it's it's a plan. Then there's always been a plan to do this. So this was not happenstance. The plan has been in making even coming to the UK. So we the thread we're weaving through this conversation is relationship. So I know you've talked about the relationship with your wife that drove that decision to come here. Was there any other relationship there that maybe drove decision to come here? Well, part of it is the relationship you had with your friends that drove you to come to Edinburgh, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
Anything else you want to point out in that area of relationship quickly before we drive forward?
Relationship determines everything. Like you mentioned, my wife had a sister who lives here. So we had good relationship, and she's actually very amazing.
Yep.
So relationship was there.
Okay.
Then the other relationship that really matters were the relationship that we had, that I have with my colleague
network here
in Nigeria, in KPMG, and across most of the big four firms in Nigeria at the time, because again, people were moving across different borders at the time, and because they are getting roles. So those relationships really helps to overcome challenges, because at the time we were moving down to Edinburgh at the time, we have our friends who had already settled in London, settled in different cities like Manchester, and we're able to leverage that relationship to
help you settling, like what challenges have you guys faced, so we can avoid it, type of thing.
Yes.
So we should put some context here, right? Just so people don't feel I've failed in life. Okay, and I'm not saying you've not succeeded. Just to set context, because some people may be in the UK and recruiters are not coming to look for them, and some people may be in Nigeria, Ghana, wherever, and recruiters are not coming to look for them. So let's set some context, and correct me if I'm wrong. This is me about to make an assumption. Should I assume that at that time when recruiters were coming to you, there was a concerted drive by Big Four to just go anywhere, maybe anywhere, or go to certain regions and get talent and bring them in? Was that a thing, or was that just recruiters having a looky about?
I think there was a very major drive. Then it was UK was I just voted for.
So they've lost all the talent from Europe.
Yes. They've lost some talent from Europe. Then at the time, audit was becoming a profession that
nobody wanted to do.
Young people don't want to.
That's true. I heard that. I still hear that till today.
Even till today, it's still the same thing. A lot of people don't want to be auditor, and that is a major concern for the profession, right? So talent is becoming scarce, and businesses keeps growing. Complexities keep increasing, and regulators especially kept hammering on quality. So quality was the major driver for all the big four firms at the time, and they are looking for quality talent, and they were ready to get them from wherever they are.
Anyway,
so I think that was the mandate they gave to those recruiters, and they went all the way to get.
Makes sense, because I've heard of something similar as well in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, where they've just come and just scooped up thousands of people and just fly them over to the UK. And again, with the nursing profession as well. Again, I was a friend invited me to his house for dinner on Friday, and I was asking him, is Zimbabwean, like, how come there are so many Zimbabweans in healthcare? And he said it was a concerted effort a few years ago by the UK government. They just needed nurses, and they just said, you know what, Zimbabwe just came, scooped, flew them to the UK. So I guess you guys were part of that generation of people that were scooped as accounting professionals in that time.
I wouldn't like the word scoop.
That were attracted.
Yes, even the attraction really didn't come as if it was so attractive, because again, when we are all finance professionals, we know what it is when we talk about purchasing power parity. We know what it is.
So when you look at the numbers, like, this does not make sense.
I mentioned to you, the position they were actually looking for. So they were bent on getting someone who is a manager and then give him maybe a senior associate job, or
like really two levels down.
Levels down, and they expect you to work your way up because there are some special experience somewhere that you never had. So those are some of the things that we let them realize that there's nothing.
There's nothing special about it.
Special about it.
And credit needs to be given to you, and I guess people like you that stood your ground and said, nah, you know what, if you're not giving me manager, I'm not moving, because I can do the job of a manager in the UK and in Nigeria? Because some people would have just caved in and said, you know what, I'll just take it. Because I'm sure when you stood your ground, someone else stood their ground. After a while, the next person they go to that is manager, they just to find manager, because they're gonna stand their ground anyway, and their friends have told them stand your ground. So well done. And there's something there around sometimes, and that's why being desperate is not a good place to be, because then you'll accept everything, anything. In your case, as you said, you were okay. You're like, if you guys don't give me what I want, I'm happy to just be where I am. So well done to you. So thanks. 2019, landed in Edinburgh. What was that like?
Okay.
Well, tell me your day one experience, if you can still remember.
Okay, so day one experience was quite busy.
Okay,
I'll tell you, because
and that was coming straight. Was that
coming
Edinburgh
straight from Lagos to Edinburgh?
Okay,
with my wife.
Okay,
and our son.
Okay, I had a son then. How old?
We are 2 years old.
2 years. Okay.
So coming down, and my wife will be resuming work at PwC like on the 7th day or so.
Okay.
So
just within a week.
Again, just within a week.
So it's like land, go.
Land, go and resume.
Yep.
And then she was pregnant at the time as well.
Oh no.
So we are expecting our second child.
It's like when it's, how do they say, when it rains, it pours. Yep. Okay.
So again, that then means that we need all the support we can get to get her to settle in. And then I was still, I still have some time, but again, I haven't finished off with my time. Although I know I'm going to join Deloitte, but again, I then have to round up most of the work
and then hand it over.
Hand it over, then resume in Deloitte. So it was a back-to-back thing. So I had to then ensure that my wife resumed properly. Then I completed what I needed to do for KPMG, resign properly, and then the following week I'm joining Deloitte.
Yeah, Deloitte. Okay.
So it was busy.
Yep.
And again, thankfully to relationship, to friends, to
your sister-in-law as well,
and to the sister-in-law, we were able to navigate that process.
I mean, it always helps our family when, like, my siblings that came after me have said, me being here definitely made their life easier when they arrived. But then for someone like me that came by myself, then I can tell you it's very different coming into a new city, a new country, a new everything by yourself without that soft landing of someone saying, okay, bring your bag, put it here, okay, this is where you go. It's hard. So definitely I know that must have made things a bit easier for you guys. I'm not saying it wasn't hard, but definitely just know, even the knowing that there's someone there. Exactly. That takes away 99% of the problem, I think, because you know, whatever happens, there's someone I can speak to, right?
Yes.
So okay, fantastic. So you can still join us in the studio, chatting to Tosin, who is sharing his career journey and sort of weaving relationship through that, which I'm terribly enjoying. On 0141 530 2787, you can send us a WhatsApp on 0745 990 6822. We're on Facebook, Jambo Radio Scotland. We're on Twitter, X, Jambo Radio 1. We're on Instagram, jamboradio.scotland. And you can send us an email. It's info@jamboradio.co.uk. So, you arrived. And how has the journey been since then? Because of course in that time a lot has changed, right? The world, the way we work has changed. COVID must have come a few months after you arrived. Then there was remote working started, then flexible working started, and then that was you trying to sort of keep going and do your thing. Tell us how that has been. So joining Deloitte, well, we didn't know COVID is coming, so we just started the work normally. I was managing a number of portfolio audits. So there are private equity funds, investment funds, asset managers, the likes of the financial services in the financial service space. So most of the work then were more like non-statutory audit based. So again, just to avoid all those terminologies. So I was just doing my work, working with the audit partner, to ensure that all the work is done properly. We have obtained all the necessary evidence to say that the financial statements have been prepared correctly. They express it through our fair view, and then we also manage our relationship with our clients. So that's basically what I was doing. And after some time again,
I had again I had to move to Jersey because most of our clients, especially the clients for the fund that I was working, they are based in Jersey. So I was in Jersey for the whole of 2019. At that time, if you want to work from home, you will need to get permission, and the partner must trust you that you'll be working from home because there was no COVID at the time. Yeah. So it came around towards the end of 2019. We didn't even know COVID is going to happen then, but it was early part of Q4 2019, and we had our second child. So, and I told the partner that I needed to take some weeks and work from home, but I'll be working. But and she was like, it's not possible. Like, it's really going to be tough. And then I said, okay, whatever concession you can give to me, please, but trust me that I'm going to do the work. I'm going to deliver on all our clients, and everybody will be happy. So she eventually agreed that I could work 1 week in that week that we had our baby. So I took that opportunity, and then I worked and took care of my family as well.
So why didn't you just take paternity leave then? So
at that time, because I was still new.
Okay.
I was still new. I think before you could get a paternity leave, you have to have worked in the firm for 52 weeks.
All right.
That's like approximately a year. Okay. That was the policy. So and at that time I haven't done 52 weeks, so I wasn't qualified for the paternity leave. So I took that 1 week opportunity to work from home.
Okay.
Only for me to have completed that, and 1 month later, they were saying that there is, in fact, they had foreseen that we might end up working from home, because I'm talking about December.
So because by then it had broken.
By then, people in China have already started that the decision had become very difficult for people to go to work daily in China. So they've already started seeing that, and there was a possibility. So at that time, they were asking everybody to do like a work from home readiness check. That can you effectively work from your house without any form of disruption. So that was what everybody was doing at the time, and I was like, what just happened? I was able to do that a few weeks ago. So I could as well do it. So and again, by February, last week in February, we just had the announcement that you can no longer you shouldn't even come to the office, and you shouldn't even come out of your house. So everybody went on lockdown.
Yep. Fantastic. So again, around relationships and weaving that through.
Yes.
So those years of, I guess, finding your feet and I guess building credibility as well, because you're new to the business. You have to build credibility. You have to build credibility within the industry. You have to build credibility within the community, with the wider community. Were there any practical tools you used to do that, just for someone listening to this that is starting out in a new job or in a new space?
So relationship cut across everything. And why did I say so? We are moving into a new environment, new industry, I would say, new set of people. The way you can, it's possible for you to say, I don't want to build relationship, but just give me the rule book, and then I'll read it, and then I'll understand it, and I'll just follow the rules. It's a hard way to learn. But with the right relationship, you have someone who we can call a buddy, who will just tell you, hey, if you want to do this, you can read the relationship book later, but this is how you should do it. Just do this and do this and do this, and you're there. And that makes your journey easier. So I got a lot of that.
Yep. But how did you get these people?
How did I get that? It's very simple. Just be open. When I am somebody that when I get to a place, I introduce myself, and then the next thing is I'm just very curious to know who you are. So tell me about yourself, and what made you to be here today. I really want to know a lot of things about you within a very short time. And that was what get me into that situation where a lot of people know me, I know a lot of people, and we're able to say, okay, for you to have done this and this, what made your journey better? Or what were the things that one should avoid if one were to do what you have done? And the person open up. And again, when that discussion continues, and you just see that you're able to solve a lot of problem without necessarily you reading and going through the pain of learning and making mistake and then coming back again.
I definitely agree, and I'm a big fan of I'll just cheat my way through life. And what I mean by that is, I'll give you an example, right? So I've got young kids, and then I've got these guys that I know. I've known them for some 15, 20 years, and I knew when they had young kids, and those kids are now 20 something. So cheating my way through life is then going to speak to these guys to say, guy, your kid seems to have turned out okay. What were the things you did that you think you did well that brought this about? What were the things you think you did not so well that you think if I could do that again, I won't do that? And basically just take all that and be like, okay, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that. Yeah. You know, that type of thing. I think that's what comes, that is where that relationship comes in, being open and asking questions.
Yes.
And sometimes it's asking direct questions. Again, once you've built a bit of relationship with that person, just in my own case, like saying, Chief, tell me, what were your mistakes? And people will be willing to, most times when I ask those questions, they just open up because people just want to chat.
Yes.
And then myself and my wife are just not taking notes physically, but taking notes mentally. Sometimes actually taking notes that, oh, okay, I like that one, we'll do that. Oh, we'll stop doing that, you know, that kind of stuff. So definitely relationships, learning. And I think being, you know, there's something someone said recently. He said, what was that? There was a phrase he used. They said it's something they use in Zimbabwe. It's a cultural thing where self-doubt. It's an interesting one. So he said, always have self-doubt. I know the world teaches us not to have self-doubt, to be confident and all that. So it's a difference. It's turning that on its head and saying, always have self-doubt. Because when you have self-doubt, it opens you up to ask questions. It opens you up to listen more. Because if you're confident that this phone, if it drops, is never going to break. If someone comes to try and tell you, but that phone can break, you'll be like, no, it's never going to break. We've tested it. But if you have self-doubt, you'll be like, oh, tell me about what you're thinking. So is that theory that I said that's how he was brought up. He works in audit as well. So he has that air of, I'm open to hear what you want to say because I may learn something or I can then challenge better once I know what you want to say. So having self-doubt. So it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
So, and now you finally founded your own accounting practice.
Yeah.
Is it accounting practice or accounting firm or interchangeable?
It's easy to call it accounting practice.
Accounting
because
practice.
what you're actually doing, you are practicing accounting.
Okay, well, I should have done that. Yes. There's something I tell my kids when they do that to me. I'm like, so you're trying to say your dad is an idiot, right? Like, come on, you should know that. Okay, so accounting practice, and so that kicked off this year.
Yeah, it kicked off this year
officially. But I'm sure work was happening in the background.
Yes, in the past 1 year, I've been supporting, helping my friends, I'll call it, because again, I just realized that a lot of support, a lot of
business support,
opportunities for accounting, accounting services exist within our community, even in our neighborhood. People are really working to get things right in their business, but they are not finding those supports. And even if they have to get that support, then they don't even know where to start from. So then they say, "Oh, you're a number guy." That is, "Oh, you're a number. You're a finance guy."
I get what you
Please, what do you mean by? What do they mean by leverage? What do you mean by current assets? Somebody is asking me about my cash flow. How do I make sense of that?
It's funny, right? Because we're both accountants, and those things are just common sense to us. They're like,
then you're just
probably 95% of the population do not know these basics, what we call basics. They don't know it. So, and when you come across, a lot of times, I'm not kidding you, when I tell people I'm an accountant, so I'm a chartered accountant, they look at me differently. They're like, oh wow, like, okay, so maybe you can help us with this. I'm like, no, I can't help you, but I can share someone's number that can help you, type of thing. So, and that's what I love about the accounting profession. Everyone needs an accountant, full stop. Right? Everyone. The smallest business needs an accountant, and then all the way to the biggest business, the government, the smallest government, the biggest government, everybody needs an accountant. And that's why when I'm giving people careers advice, I'm like, just study accounting. If you don't know what to do, study accounting. And then if you finish studying it, if you think not my thing, you can go do something else. And that's the beauty of accounting.
Correct.
It's a launch pad for many careers, right?
Yes.
And I know I'm being biased because I'm an accountant, but I've seen it. I've seen a lot of people that have started out their accounting career and gone on to do a lot of exciting stuff.
IT, cybersecurity, transport, even medicine.
Exactly. Just anywhere you can
hotel,
go anywhere or start your business like yourself.
Yes.
So what's the name of your business?
Yeah, my practice is called tax assist accounting.
Okay, we should
tax assist accounting.
Should actually give you a clap for kicking that off. So that was you coming to the UK 2019, and then in 2025 you founded your business. So that's impressive. And when I hear these stories, it gives me so much joy, right? Because most of us in life want to do these things, but we end up not doing it because we're waiting for the perfect time, the perfect fit. When I finish doing this, I'll do that, and then click, you're 70 years old, right? So I was chatting to we had a guest on the show earlier in the year. So he started his own law firm, but the amazing thing about this guy was when he came to the UK, he couldn't speak English, so he went hard, learnt English. Then, and this guy was already a successful lawyer in his country. I think it was from DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. Then put himself through law school again. So that was 4-5 years. Then went through everything. Law is complicated. Went through the whole thing, and then eventually got some work experience, and eventually started his own firm. Similar to yours, but maybe more challenges that he had to overcome. And when I hear this, it just gladdens my heart. So who are the people that will be interested in what you do? Who will be interested in chatting with you?
Yeah, virtually anybody that is interested in getting the right the right insight from the numbers that their business is producing. So for instance, you have business owners.
Yep.
They are the most the largest number of people.
Yep.
Business owners, those who run business.
So let's create, what do they call? Let's create an avatar.
Okay.
Let's say I'm thinking of the smallest business I can think of. I sew clothes.
Yeah.
Yep. I sew clothes.
Okay.
And then I sell it on Amazon.
Okay.
Should I be speaking to you?
Well, that may mean that you are a sole trader.
Okay.
So in that case, you are doing your thing, you sell your clothes, you sew your clothes and you sell it.
Okay.
You are a sole trader.
Okay.
Now you need us for at least two things.
Okay.
You need us to be able to, you need an accountant like me, for instance, to be able to ensure that you keep proper book of records, book of accounts for your business.
And why do I need to keep that?
And why you need to do that is that, one, they used to say, in the school we learned that accounting is the language of business.
Okay.
That is, the business that you are working on, that you have done, is an entity, and it has mouth, it can talk. And the way it talks is it speaks the number through the number that is generating from your business. What are those numbers? The number that has to do with your sales, your profits, your expenses. Now those numbers, because you are doing a business, that business is not only, you are not the only one interested in that business. The government of the country where you are operating is also interested. Why? Because the government is interested in your taxes. So in that case, you need to keep proper records for the government to be able to know, for you to be able to assess how much of tax you have to pay. Okay. You also have to keep the record very well for yourself, because, in fact, mostly for yourself, because you need to be able to understand where you are.
Where business is.
Is this business moving forward? Are you making profit?
Okay.
Are you having high expenses that you can control? Can they be controlled? Can they be reduced?
So I need you to help me file my tax, manage my accounting side of things.
Yes.
Why else should I speak to you? You said 2 reasons.
Yes.
Okay.
So first is that, one, if you need me to help you to file your tax returns, for instance, you want to be able to establish that. I am well positioned to be able to help you to know how efficiently you can you can structure your business to be in a position to take advantage of the tax laws and take advantage of the tax opportunities that you have to maximize your tax savings. Okay. So that is one. Okay. Then 2 is the fact that you have future goals, right? Okay. You are not just working for this year. You are thinking about the future. Where is your business heading to?
How can you grow the business?
How can you expand? How can you make the most of the opportunity that are available for you in your business? So you need to be talking to me.
Okay. So why should I be... So I've got goals for my business. I'm thinking maybe, one day I want to actually open my own tailoring shop and be doing this in numbers, and maybe eventually open a tailoring shop in Ghana. We're bringing clothes in bulk and selling it here. So if I have that plan and that goal, why should I be speaking to you? I need clear reason for why I should be speaking to you. Where can you help me on that journey, or how can you help me on that journey?
Okay, so an accountant as an accountant, I understand the tax laws that are applicable across different jurisdictions.
Okay.
And what that does is that it helps. I will be able to advise you on a tax efficient way of structuring down your business.
Okay, so you're still talking tax.
Yes.
So you can't help me with business support then?
Why not? See.
So that was what I was hoping you would say. Business support.
Business support.
Yes.
Yeah, business support, and even business support comes in different ways.
Okay.
One is even setting up the structure, setting up your structure in different jurisdictions like Ghana, UK, wherever. So structuring that business in different locations, you require an accountant to help you identify the right structure and even the right requirement, to get all the requirement that is needed to set up those structure.
Yep.
So accountant will help you with that, and I can help you with that.
Okay, this is relevant because I was still chatting so a lady wanted to chat to me a few weeks ago, so we met up, and she has a business that is now really struggling on the verge of being closed down, and she said, listen, I'm very good at doing what the business needs to be done, like the sole purpose of the business. I'm very good at it.
Yes.
But then the business side of it, I'm not very good. So maybe, and then that was her asking, do I know someone that can come alongside her as a business support person that can look after the business side of it, so she can just focus on running the business type of thing. So could you be that kind of person for people out there that think, you know what, I am very good at this thing. However, I'm not a business savvy person. Should they be speaking to someone like you then?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that is why I exist.
Okay.
We are here to help business owners to focus on what they like to do best, which is running their business.
Okay. That's
why we take on the regulatory compliance, the tax, and the accounting bit of it.
That's fantastic, because a lot of times when people hear accountants, they just think tax.
Oh, no.
They don't hear business support and all that. And that was why I wanted to point that out. That's something you can help people with, because lots of people have got ideas, but they are scared because of everything that goes with it. They're like, and so if they know someone like you exists, they can say, you know what, let me speak to Tosin, tell him my idea, and then see if there's a way he can support me with that side, so I can just focus on this side, and then we could actually make a success out of this.
Definitely. I will always want people to book a free consultation with me, so that we can discuss their plans, their goals for the business, and where we can help.
Okay. And what challenges, if any, have you faced on that journey to starting your business? So, was it hard for you leaving what is safe to, I guess, taking the leap into the unknown?
Yes, it has been hard, I would say. But again, because, like I said, can do everything. So that really that mentality of yes, we can do everything helps us to move forward. So the challenges are enormous. One of them is even the requirement to get the licensing required, the authorization that is required from each of those regulators, the supervisory body, is a lot, and scaling through that alone in this year has been some very, very challenging.
You can pat yourself on the back and say, well done.
Exactly, I can pat myself in the back that, yes, I've done that.
Okay, and I guess for you as well, you've got someone on beside you on that journey, in this case your wife.
Yes.
Would you say that has been beneficial, helpful?
Very.
Not going on that journey by yourself?
Very, very. So the truth is, my wife has been very supportive, and not only that, by virtue of the fact that I'm part of one of the most reputable accounting network in the UK today, which is the tax assist accountant. Tax assist accountants have been very, very supportive in ensuring that all the requirement that is needed to set up an accounting practice that is world class and that is able to provide services to our stakeholders in terms of local taxpayers, individual business owners, all the necessary technology, the marketing support, everything is there. So we are partners, and they have been very, very supportive in that area.
Fantastic. And so for someone out there, so a few questions for you, just quick fire questions. For someone out there looking to start their, career journey in the UK, any advice for them?
Yes, I would say right now the UK as a country is still in need of very strong talent, especially people who are upwardly mobile. I'll put it that way. So people who are very skilled in technology, who have the know-how. So, and my advice to them is, skill yourself to be the best.
Equip yourself.
All
the skills you need.
Yes, with all the skills
to be the best.
Succeed,
to be outstanding.
To be excellent. And again, don't narrow your scope. Widen up your scope, because again, the world is changing. We are talking about artificial intelligence. We are talking about AI, automating most of the business processes. And that is where we want every talent to be shifting their attention into. So that is one area that almost everybody needs to start looking at now.
Okay, and what advice do you have for someone in a stable 9-to-5 job who has got ideas around owning a business or starting something up, but still a bit unsure? What one advice do you have for them, like quick fire?
Yeah, quick one. I'll say, try and reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. Or better still,
you never let an opportunity go to waste.
Let's have a conversation, because again, you need someone to test your hypothesis or test your business hypothesis. That is one. Then you need someone to help you forecast and look at the position of your business in the long term, to really see and help you to run all the numbers and see that it is really viable. You need an accountant to do that. You need someone to help you to clarify for you the regulatory requirements and every compliance details that you need to be aware of. So you need that clarity. That is number one. Then again, the other thing is, go ahead and make sure you don't have any idea in your mind or in your brain that you have not, you didn't give yourself the opportunity to try out. Because that would then lead to a future of regrets.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. To avoid regrets, just do it, right?
Yeah,
and then in the spirit of just doing it, reach out to Tosin, or someone like Tosin.
Yes.
That can maybe give you that be a sounding board, as they call it. And as you said, give you that stress testing of your idea to say, maybe there's nothing here. Maybe continue working 9-to-5 or come up with a different idea. So there was something you said you wanted to share with the audience.
Yes.
This is the moment to share it, because we just have 3 minutes left, and you only have 1 minute to share that bit, because we still have a few other things to cover. So what were you looking to share? Okay,
I'll just say that, because of the time, I won't be able to expand more on it, but I love the Bible a lot.
Okay.
And in the book of Hebrews chapter 10 verse 24, it says that we should spur ourselves to do good work and to love. So I would say, whatever you can do, try and encourage yourself and others to do good work and to show love to other people. And that is how the world can still stay united. We are more than 8 billion people in the world. And that is 8 billion people that needs someone who will do something good to them and who will show love. So be that person.
Yeah, so do good work and show love.
Yes.
And when you say do good work, what does that mean?
Good work means that whatever you do, make sure it is contributing to the good of the other person.
Okay.
Yes.
Give me an example. Quick one.
Making someone a better person.
Okay.
More like something that gives the other person joy.
Okay.
Something that gives the person satisfaction. That
right.
Can say, yes, I can remember. I have a good impression from this person.
Lovely. Okay. So 2 things from me. The first one is, we have a tradition here in on our show where we get the current guest to leave an advice for the next guest.
Okay.
So the last guest, and they don't know who the next guest is, they just leave an advice. And in most cases, the advices, I think I need to go back to my English class. The advice given has usually been relevant to the person the advice was left for. So our last guest was Kyle.
Kyle, okay.
Yes, it was Kyle. Kyle said, don't forget it wasn't Kyle, it was Kemi. Kemi came after Kyle. Kemi said, don't despise the days of your humble beginnings.
Oh, amazing.
That was our advice to you.
That's
So now
a very relevant one.
It's relevant here,
Yes.
because you had those humble beginnings in Nigeria and then humble beginnings in the UK, and this is you about to start a new journey of growth, and
Exactly.
we know you're going to make a success of it, and we'll continue to cheer you on from the side.
Thank you.
And what advice do you have for our next guest?
Well, I'll say. Let me first of all say thank you to Kemi for that advice.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I'll take that on. And my advice to the next guest is, whatever you do, let's make our world a better place.
Make our world a better place.
Let's make our world a better
Fantastic.
place.
So again, we have one more tradition, and we've only got just 50 seconds. You get the chance to ask we, the host, one question. Go for it.
Okay. So,
It's got to be quick.
okay, my question for you,
Yes.
Enoch, is what motivates you the most in Scotland? You've been here for a long time. So, what has been your greatest motivation in
I think
Scotland?
my greatest motivation has been the fear of waking up one day and realizing could have done more.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know if there's a word for that fear. You know how they have different words for different fear. I don't know if there's a word for the fear of being old, looking back and saying, should have done more.
Yeah.
So because of that fear, I just
doing everything.
just do everything. Not everything, but I'm intentionally just
doing a lot of
yeah,
things at
scooping
the
up.
same
That's what motivates me. Fear. Not a good thing, but works for me.
No,
so
it's a positive fear.
yeah,
a
positive
fear
fear.
that drives you to want to do more
yes,
all the time.
Yes,
Yeah,
that I
that's
can look back when I'm old and be like, yeah, you tried. You said try.
Thank
yeah.
you.
It's been amazing. I've learned so much from Tosin. So if I'm thinking of starting a business tomorrow, before I do it, I'm going to speak to Tosin, because it could be my sounding board, and then just provide general business services, advice. So thank you very much, Tosin, for joining us. Thank you for chatting with us for the last 1 hour. Hopefully folks have learned a lot from this conversation, and maybe some of them will come knocking on your door, and they can find you where quickly.
Yeah, you can find me by visiting my office
Okay.
at 592 Alexander Parade.
Okay,
And
and
better still, you can call my number. My office line is 0141
Okay.
428 5740.
okay, and online.
Online, yeah, you can reach me on LinkedIn.
Okay.
On my LinkedIn,
Okay.
and
So they just look for Tosin Oluyemi
just
on
look
LinkedIn.
for me, Tosin Oluyemi. You will see a lot of Tosin Oluyemi, please.
There's
But
only one unique one.
you'll
But
find me.
That's been us. Thank you very much for being with us. Until next time, it's been myself, Enoch, and my wonderful host, Tosin. Thank you.
Thank you.